The sands of Egypt whisper tales of mighty pharaohs and magnificent monuments. Beneath the sun-baked surface, darker secrets lie buried. Ancient Egypt was a land of duality, where light and darkness coexisted. Egyptians celebrated life and were equally captivated by the mysteries of death and the afterlife. They believed in the power of magic called Heka, which permeated every aspect of their lives. Heka was the essence of creation, the breath of the gods, and the key to unlocking the hidden potential of the world. For the ancient Egyptians, magic was an integral part of their existence. Heka influenced every aspect of their lives, from everyday tasks to grand religious ceremonies. Farmers sought Heka's blessing for harvests, while healers used it to cure diseases. Amulets inscribed with potent symbols were worn for protection against evil spirits. Heka was a force to be respected, revered, and approached with caution. The Egyptians believed that Heka was wielded by the gods themselves. Thoth, the god of wisdom, and Isis, the mistress of magic, were its guardians. Priests dedicated their lives to understanding and harnessing Heka's energy. They acted as intermediaries between the mortal and divine realms, yet whispers of forbidden magic hinted at a darker side to this mystical art. Some practitioners succumbed to Heka's darker temptations. Driven by ambition or greed, they delved into forbidden arts. Legends spoke of their ability to command nature and curse enemies, but such power came at a steep price, risking the wrath of the gods. Those who tampered with Heka faced terrible consequences. Heka was the very fabric of existence, the primordial energy that flowed through all things. It was present at the dawn of creation and sustained the universe. The ancient Egyptians believed that Heka existed before the gods. It was the raw power from which everything sprang forth. The gods themselves were seen as manifestations of Heka. Certain gods and goddesses were especially associated with Heka. Thoth, the wise scribe, and Isis, the divine mother, were its guardians. Ptah, the creator god, shaped the world through Heka. Heka was linked with knowledge, wisdom, and the spoken word. To wield Heka effectively required understanding its intricate principles. Heka could be used for both benevolent and malevolent purposes. Its potential for good or evil depended on the practitioner's intentions. Healers and priests channeled Heka for constructive ends. Those who exploited Heka for personal gain were feared and reviled. The line between protection and aggression was often blurred. Central to Heka was the belief in the power of words. Spoken words possessed tangible energy, capable of shaping reality. This belief influenced their funerary texts, hieroglyphic writing, and rituals. Words held the power to heal, protect, curse, and even resurrect the dead. The power of language extended to law, justice, and society. Some were drawn to Heka's darker aspects, seeking forbidden knowledge. They sought to bend Heka to their will, driven by ambition or despair. The lure of the void promised unimaginable power, but these promises came at a steep price, risking their soul and sanity. The pursuit of forbidden knowledge was a dangerous game. Practitioners of forbidden magic operated in secrecy. Their rituals were shrouded in darkness and fear. They possessed knowledge that defied the laws of nature. They could summon malevolent entities and weave potent curses. Their actions left a trail of fear and destruction. The tools of the dark arts were varied and unsettling. They used potent herbs, venomous creatures, and crafted fetishes. They performed rituals in places of power, drawing on residual energy. The human mind was their most potent tool, transcending mortal limitations. The line between power and madness was thin, and many were lost. The price of forbidden knowledge was often heavy. The forces they sought to control were dangerous and fickle. Many sorcerers met gruesome ends, consumed by their own magic. The land could be scarred by their rituals, leaving cursed places. The pursuit of forbidden knowledge had high stakes. The ancient Egyptians revered the written word's power. This belief permeated their magical practices. Curses inscribed on tombs served as warnings and deterrents. These words were potent expressions of Heka, infused with raw power. They protected the sanctity of sacred grounds and the dead. Death was a transition to the afterlife, the duat. Tombs were filled with provisions, amulets, and protective spells. Curses acted as silent guardians, warding off desecrators. They invoked the wrath of the gods and venomous creatures. Some threatened to trap the violator's soul within the tomb. The Egyptians employed benevolent spells and rituals for protection. These measures were woven into their daily lives. Amulets possessed inherent magical properties, acting as conduits for Heka. They were worn, placed in homes, and buried with the dead. Some amulets warded off specific dangers, while others provided general protection. Heka could be used for both good and evil. Protective magic could be twisted for darker intentions. A skilled practitioner could fashion amulets that reflected negative energy. Objects could be imbued with protective spells that unleashed curses. The line between protection and aggression was often blurred. The priesthood held a position of paramount importance. They were scholars, healers, and advisors, maintaining balance between realms. Priests dedicated their lives to serving the deities, performing rituals and sacrifices. Their lives were governed by strict codes of conduct and ritual purity. They were the keepers of sacred knowledge, preserving ancient wisdom. Temples were repositories of knowledge, containing vast libraries. Priests were custodians of this knowledge, mastering various disciplines. They approached Heka with reverence and caution. Heka was a gift from the gods, harnessed for humanity's benefit. Elaborate rituals and incantations channeled Heka's energy for healing and protection. However, the path of the priest was not without its temptations. The very power they wielded, the knowledge they possessed, could be a double-edged sword. Some priests, seduced by the allure of forbidden knowledge, strayed from the righteous path, drawn into the shadows by the whispers of darker forces. They sought to transcend the limitations of their mortal existence, to unlock the secrets of immortality, to command the forces of nature, and to bend the will of the gods to their own desires. These ambitious individuals, driven by pride, greed, or a thirst for power that outstripped their devotion to the gods, became known as the sorcerer priests. They delved into forbidden texts, seeking out lost rituals and forgotten incantations that promised them dominion over life and death, control over the elements, and even the ability to manipulate the fabric of reality itself. The rise of the sorcerer priests marked a turning point in ancient Egypt. They sought to usurp the power of the gods, bending cosmic forces to their will. Their rituals became sinister, involving blood sacrifices and forbidden incantations. Hidden temples and underground chambers shrouded their dark arts in secrecy. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the sands of Egypt, a different kind of ritual unfolded in hidden chambers and forgotten tombs. These were not the grand ceremonies of the state religion performed in the shadow of towering pyramids and majestic temples. These were the clandestine gatherings of the sorcerer priests, their rituals cloaked in secrecy, their altars stained with the residue of forbidden magic. Under the cloak of night, they gathered in secret, their faces hidden beneath hoods, their bodies draped in dark robes adorned with symbols of power and transgression. The air crackled with anticipation and a palpable sense of dread as they prepared to delve into the darkest recesses of Heka, to commune with forces that lay beyond the veil of the mortal world. The rituals of the sorcerer priests were not for the faint of heart. Blood was the currency of their magic, a potent offering that fueled their spells. Animals were often the first offering, their throats slit upon the altar. Whispers circulated of human sacrifices of slaves or prisoners offered up to appease the gods. Central to the sorcerer priest's rituals was their ability to pierce the veil between the worlds, to reach into the Duat, the Egyptian underworld, and summon forth its denizens. They believed the Duat was a source of raw, untamed power, a reservoir of primordial energy to achieve their aims. Through complex incantations, intricate gestures, and psychoactive substances, they induced trance-like states, allowing their consciousness to transcend physical limitations and journey into the heart of the Duat. There, they communed with spirits, bargained with demons, and entreated the gods of the underworld, such as Osiris, Anubis, and Ammut. They sought to bind these entities to their will, to compel them to do their bidding, to unleash them upon their enemies, or to gain mystical knowledge. The rituals of the sorcerer priests were fraught with danger. The forces they sought to control were fickle and unforgiving. Many met gruesome ends, consumed by the entities they sought to command, their minds shattered by whispers of madness from the Duat. Even survivors were forever changed, their souls stained by darkness. The price of forbidden knowledge was heavy, affecting all around them. The ancient Egyptians believed in Ma'at, the principle of cosmic order and balance. It was the invisible thread that held the universe together. Heka was meant to uphold Ma'at, to heal, protect, and maintain balance. But forbidden magic and the lust for power threatened to unravel this thread. The consequences were far-reaching, affecting entire communities. Whispers of plagues, famines, and natural disasters often followed in the wake of sorcerers tampering with Heka. Were these calamities coincidences, or consequences of disrupting the cosmic order? The gods, angered by mortal hubris, could unleash droughts, floods, and pestilence. Even pharaohs, considered living gods, were not immune to the consequences of misusing Heka. Some rulers sought to bend magic to their will, ensuring dominance and immortality. They surrounded themselves with sorcerers and priests seeking forbidden knowledge. But such hubris often came at a terrible price. History is replete with tales of pharaohs who met untimely ends. Their tombs became their prisons, their souls trapped within cursed confines. The consequences of magic in ancient Egypt reflected a broader theme that permeated their worldview: the cyclical nature of creation and destruction, order and chaos. Just as the Nile River flooded and receded in an eternal rhythm, so too did human history unfold in a pattern of rise and fall, marked by periods of peace, prosperity, and expansion, followed by inevitable declines into conflict, famine, and decay. The misuse of Heka, the pursuit of forbidden knowledge, and the hubris of those who sought to disrupt the cosmic order were seen as catalysts for this inevitable decline. They represented a break in Ma'at, a disruption of the natural balance that held the universe together. And just as the forces of nature would eventually reassert themselves, restoring equilibrium after a storm, so too would the consequences of magical transgression manifest, bringing about a restoration of balance, albeit often at a terrible cost. The sands of time have swallowed much of ancient Egypt's glory, leaving behind enigmatic ruins and tantalizing fragments of a civilization obsessed with life, death, and the delicate balance between the two. The echoes of their magic still resonate, whispering through the millennia, reminding us of a time when the boundaries between the mortal realm and the unseen world were blurred. But these echoes are not without their warnings. The ancient Egyptians understood that power, especially the kind that delves into the hidden forces of the universe, is a double-edged sword. Their myths and legends are replete with cautionary tales of those who dared to trespass into forbidden territories. Their fates serve as stark reminders that the pursuit of power without wisdom can lead to ruin. As we gaze upon the remnants of their civilization, we ponder the legacy of ancient Egyptian magic. It is a testament to the enduring power of belief, the allure of the unknown, and the eternal human fascination with the mysteries that lie beyond the veil of our everyday existence.